God Shiva speaks. The Father says, no one knows what heaven is. They simply say so and so became a resident of heaven. Where is heaven that person could have become a resident of? You know that heaven existed in Bharat. Hell is also in Bharat. Those people catch hold of those words and say that heaven and hell are both. That is, those who have a lot of wealth are in heaven. However, it is not like that. When Bharat was new, it was called heaven. Now, this impure old world is hell. There is just one world. Gateway to Heaven, the 13th of November 2021. God Shiva speaks. The Father says, the mercury of your happiness can rise when you explain to others. Here in hell, those who have wealth think that they are sitting in heaven. It is difficult for them to take knowledge. This is why it is remembered that only a handful out of multi-millions become sensible enough to claim a right to I God the Father of all souls' inheritance. Gateway to Heaven, the 13th of November 2021. God Shiva speaks. The Father says, the old world was definitely destroyed and that will happen again. The Mahabharat War took place when the kingdom of Ravan, the five vices, which is body consciousness, lust, greed, anger, and attachment, was destroyed, and the kingdom of me, God the Father of all souls, is established. Gateway to Heaven, the 13th of November 2021. God Shiva speaks. The Father says, the cries of distress begin in the kingdom of Ravan, the five vices, which is body consciousness, lust, greed, anger, and attachment. After the cries of distress, there will be the cries of victory, and the world will change from old to new, from impure to pure. Just as an old building is demolished and a new one built, and then demolish again. So establishment is taking place in the same way. Gateway to Heaven, the 13th of November 2021. God Shiva speaks. The Father says, now I, God the Supreme Soul, the Supreme Father of all souls, is enabling you to conquer Ravan, the five vices, which is body consciousness, lust, greed, anger, and attachment. To do this, I, God the Father of all souls, says, remember me, God the Father of all souls, and your sins will be absolved, and you will become worthy. Gateway to Heaven, the 13th of November 2021. God Shiva speaks. The Father says, 5,000 years before today, Bharat was heaven, and it was the kingdom of Lakshmi and Narayan. Now it is the kingdom of Ravan, the five vices, which is body consciousness, lust, greed, anger, and attachment. Ravan is everyone's enemy. Ravan is burned every year, and yet he doesn't die. Gateway to Heaven, the 13th of November 2021. God Shiva speaks. The Father says, the God of the spoken Gita is not Sri Krishna, but I, God Shiva, the Father of all souls. There is only one God of the Gita, and it is I, God Shiva, the Father of all souls. Gateway to Heaven, 13th of November 2021. God Shiva speaks. The Father says, this is Raja Yoga. Only I, God Shiva, the Father of all souls, the God of the Gita, taught ancient Raj Yoga of Bharat and give the kingdom of heaven. I, God Shiva, the Father of all souls, is once again teaching Raja Yoga. Gateway to Heaven, the 13th of November 2021. God Shiva speaks. The Father says, I, God the Father of all souls, have came once again to make you into the masters of the pure world, and so you have to become pure. Only I, God the Father of all souls, and none other, is the bestower of salvation for all souls. Gateway to Heaven, the 13th of November 2021. God Shiva speaks. The Father says, I, God the unlimited Father of all souls, only comes once per world cycle. What gift do I bring? I have brought heaven on the palms of my hands for you. Heaven cannot be carried on one's palm. It is a matter of understanding. Remember me, God the Father of all souls, and you will receive the sovereignty of heaven. Gateway to Heaven, the 13th of November 2021. God Shiva speaks. The Father says, You say that you are children of me, God the Father of all souls, who establishes heaven. I, God the Father of all souls, establishes the new pure world, and so someone will surely receive the sovereignty of heaven. It isn't that I, God the Father of all souls, will only give to those who live in heaven. I, God the Father of all souls, give to everyone else too. According to the world drama plan, all the rest receive the part of liberation. Everyone becomes liberated. Liberation means to stay in the soul world until it is time for you to receive a body in this physical world to play your part in this world drama. Gateway to Heaven, the 13th of November 2021.